It's John from DoubleSleeved here, and you're watching a Deck Tech episode of Pauper Brawl, the best way to make good use of your previously unused standard cards. In this series, we explore deck builds that will cost you less than £10 to put together, and if you've opened a few standard boosters, may even have many of the cards already. Fancy grabbing some more cards to add to your collection? Then come on down to the premier Magic site for standard cards, DoubleSleeved.co.uk. If you like this fun and technical video, then leave us a cheeky like down below, or treat yourself to a free subscription by clicking the subscribe button. Sharing our video couldn't be easier and makes such a difference. We'll always appreciate any and all of your support. Now onto the video. In our view, Pauper Brawl is a simple and quick format designed to test your core Magic playing skills and force innovation where a limited card pool restricts you. Brawl, being flexible enough to be played 1v1 or up to 6 players, means massive replayability, and being Pauper means cheap. But how cheap? Leave a comment below now telling us how much you think this deck will cost without lands. We will run through some key information about this build and talk about the cards chosen. However, as with any video we make, let us know your thoughts. What would or wouldn't you put in this Pauper Brawl deck? Do you think this deck has what it takes to face a regular Brawl deck? And what other Brawl decks would you like us to go into? So, today's Pauper Brawler is Renata, called to the hunt. She is a star 3 legendary enchantment creature demigod for 2 green, which reads, Renata's power is equal to your devotion to green. Each other creature you control enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. As you can see here, we have a simple yet effective mono green creature counter deck on our hands. Our strategy is to ramp out Renata, get as many high devotion creatures out, and swing with a giant creature army. Let's look at what we need to get the ball rolling. First, we need to get Renata out so we can get the benefit of her second ability. So we need Dorks. Arboreal Grazer, the classic reach beast that puts an extra land from your hand onto the battlefield. Nothing like land ramp to get you moving. We also have Elysian Carotid and Leafkin Druid, both of which cost 2 mana and produce 1 mana, but can produce 2 when tapped if you meet that other criteria. Snuck in there is an Open the Gates to ensure you don't miss an important land drop in later turns. Lastly, we use a mana rock in Alter the Pantheon, which also helps us with our second point, Devotion. The number of green mana symbols on permanents we control. All our 25 creatures are green, giving us a total of 33 devotion. We have non-ramp early game creatures such as Frilled Sandwaller and Devkarin Dissident. These also allow us to sink mana into them if necessary later in the game. Considering the abundance of cheap flyers in Pauper Brawl, the opposition is not flying high with our spiders, Netcaster, Sporecap and Mammoth. We may also face significant aggro from white weenies or mono red aggro, so a few damage preventions will aid us in protecting that all-important devotion for Renata. Root Snare, Pause for Reflection and Inspire all fit the bill. As well, we will see a pesky artifact or enchantment returning to nature or coming to a natural end. So we have Renata out and she is throwing +1/+1 counters around. We can use this with spells like Crunch Wrangler that grows when large creatures enter the battlefield, Pollen Bright Druid that adds a counter or proliferates, Couraging Crisis that adds a counter and proliferates, Bloom Hulk that enters and proliferates, Garenbrig Paladin that enters with a +1/+1. We have a couple of escape creatures that hit the battlefield from the graveyard with extra +1s on them, Loathsome Chimera and Voracious Typhon. Now that we have the big guns out and everything's swinging, let's finish it off. Nylea's Huntmaster gives a creature a power boost equal to our green devotion. Silverback Shaman adds 2 devotion and replaces itself when it dies, and tramples. Bigospore Worm counts on us losing a few creatures in the game and is bigger because of it. Primordial Worm, Wrecking Beast and Nyxborn Colossus are 7/6, 6/6 and 6/7s. They give us big devotion boosts and let us bash big time. All the power matters not if we face chump blockers. And that's where Thundering Ceratok and Nylea's Forerunner come in, with their every creature gets trample abilities. Lastly, we have a sneaky haste feature from Crashing Drawbridge, allowing us to make the most of each creature that comes down on their first turn. And for the final extra boost, Giant Growth, Citizen Training and Titanic Growth. Pair all that with 24 basic forests, and there you have it. play creatures, play Renata, more creatures, buff it all bigger, win the game. Renata High Wide Devotion. The average Renata Brawl deck we can find online would set you back £81. And our total? £4.19 plus some basic lands. Wow. Thanks for watching and subscribe to see more budget deck techs. See you in the next one.